They'll be like, oh, we knew a Portraits was on here.
All right. Hello and welcome to the All American Spookshow YouTube channel. I'm Josh. I'm joined here with Donnie.
Yo.
And the Professor Smoke.
What's up?
And once again, we're joined with Adam Portraits from the Hero Movie Podcast.
You're so welcome, everyone. Oh, so glad to be back.
The one that's going to bring eyeballs into the discussion here.
Hey, listen, when you have the controversial opinions that I do, you can't help but stir the pot and make things happen for the world. So that's what we're doing here today.
Well, apparently, we all had some slightly controversial or at least off opinions on our prediction show.
I think it's more just like the public is a bunch of drunkards and drug addicts and glue sniffers, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, because we did this. I want to say it was back in March. I don't remember the exact date, but it's here on the YouTube channel. You can go back and search through the archive.
It's hilarious. Listen to it. Watch it.
Beginning of March, we were joined with Adam and his co-host Bruce Leslie from the Hero Movie Podcast, and we did a preview / predictions of the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, and we're going to go over those one by one here in just a minute. But yeah, I don't know the exact percentage, but I don't even think we got half of them right. We got some, we nailed some, but yeah, some were way off from even like our split decisions weren't even close on some.
There were so many that felt like just shoe-ins for stuff that like, and again, I haven't looked at all of them. I didn't get a chance to watch the awards live or whatnot. But the few that I've seen were like, oh, did not see this coming, and like, and in a couple categories where I think we were all just like, well, this is fine, but that's certainly not going to get it. And son of a gun, we'll get into it, I'm sure.
The other thing too is how many who I went back. I didn't watch it live, but I went back and watched the Chainsaw Awards. Did anybody else happen to watch it before we get into it?
Yeah. Not well. I guess you did kind of watch it live, most of it, and a little bit later on. Even today, I watched a little bit more of it.
I gotta say, they need to change the format of how they do this thing or something. I don't know what they got to do. It was not. Good. It wasn't good.
No.
Yeah, but
I mean, the wraparound story things were ridiculous.
Comparing it to,
I don't know, any award show.
I can compare it to the first one because I was there. Like I said on the prior episode we did in 1992. I was there for the Fangoria Weekend of Horror Convention. Chainsaw Awards. That was they've definitely changed since then, let's say.
How would you compare it to like the DVD special features award show?
Yeah, the DVD menu award. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't watched those, but that might be better. I don't know.
The best hidden Easter egg goes to Fight Club.
There were certain parts of it that were fine. It's just I don't know.
What was the production value like? Because honestly, that's one of the things that I worry about with this stuff. Because sometimes you'll go and see it and you're like, this looks like and not for nothing. And I know that they're not dealing with Rockefeller budgets over there, but it looks like just amateur hour USA. Did it look at least decent enough?
It wasn't
sound decent enough. Sound is a big thing.
Production wasn't the problem. I think it looked fine and it sounded fine. I think it was like, I think they need an audience or something. It needed. Even if there was just a studio audience, it needed something. It felt like everybody doing this in a closed studio.
Oh, like the pre-recorded, everybody's kind of done their little spiel and comes through, and there's no real like energy within the room itself. So
and then they kind of cut it with some corny, somewhere between cringe and corny wraparounds, because it was hosted by. I always mispronounce the dude's name, David Dasmalkian. Is that how you say it? Dasmalkian. It was hosted by him and Peaches Christ. And they had these.
Hey, watch your language on this show, please.
They had these corny. There was a couple of hilarious names on the show of people I can't even remember, but when they would say their names, I was just laughing. But
that's how you get ahead today. Is just like, just have some stupid little name and just be like, hey, look at me, I'm
yeah. But
I'm Ding Dong Jones, and you're like, oh, Ding Dong Jones, that guy's great.
Donnie, that's your new angle.
Shit,
Ding Dong Jones. Yeah, it was like it was somewhere between cringe and corny, at best corny comedy wraparound things in between. It just
we're not funny at all.
They just need to jazz it. They need some type of audience. That's I'll leave it there. They need to like either do it in front of like at least a small studio audience, or or take it to, man, I'm telling you, take this to one of the big horror conventions. I don't know.
Yeah, conventions. That'd be awesome.
To a convention, just like you said, Smoke, the very first one you went to was at a convention.
Yeah.
Do it.
I mean, they could do it old school like that.
Yeah, do it in front of a group of people.
Oh yeah, like why not? And like you see it all the time on and because it's like middle of the country, it's like a good location. The Belcourt Theater in Nashville that they do all like the riff track stuff and everything. Mm-hmm. Like it's this nice big theater with a good stage on it and everything. You could do something like that.
Yeah, believe me, as popular as Fangoria is and horror and everything, you could get a small audience of.
Yeah, and like just think and listen. It's community I love, and I say these next words with absolute love and affection. But to see some of the mutants that would be in that audience, oh my God, that alone would be worth it. Just the freaks of nature that they will allow into the wearing God only knows what. If you told horror nerds, guess what? You're going to horror Oscars and stuff. Watch the bull crap they wear. Like I'm telling you, that in and of itself will be worth the price of admission to watch what these wackos are dressing up as, and it's probably great.
The cosplay, everything.
Yep. It'll be nuts.
It would be crazy. They need to do that. That would be my major.
That would make the Met Gala look tame. I'm telling you.
It will be a bloody Met Gala. But yeah, we're gonna run through the categories here, and basically we're gonna here. I'll throw that up. Boom, there it is. All right, so we'll start here with
Whoop. There it is. I don't want to be that guy right off the bat, but
no. The nominees were Barbarian, The Black Phone, Nope, Pearl, and X. Now this was the big one, the best it's a wide release, and the winner was. Oh wait a minute, Before I say the winner, I'll say what we said.
Yes,
Johnny, you and Smoke said Pearl. Bruce and I said X, and Adam, you said Barbarian. And none of us were even close to right. The Black Phone won, and I was really surprised by. And as we'll go along here, you'll see the Black Phone really did well in this thing, and I was very surprised by that.
Yeah, I was. This was one that I saw, and again, I think I got some of the Black Phone ones spoiled for me because I follow Cargill on Twitter and stuff, and I have for years before he was, anybody of particular note. Yeah, I like at the same time too. Part of me, like my first instinct goes to, oh, the Black Phone was like a major release and blah blah blah. But at the same time, like Nope was what made more money than Black Phone did by a fair stretch, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So like it's confusing to me, and like I don't think any of us like out and out hated Black Phone, right?
No. Matter of fact, when I went back and watched what we had to say about it, it was kind of like we talked about every one of those movies at length on that you see on your screen there, except for the Black Phone. It was like, oh yeah, and that came out.
Because it's just fine, and like it's nothing to write home about. It's just okay.
It was fine, but it didn't seem to have the steam that any of these other ones did. When you're talking about a popular vote. Right
now, does that come down to the whole oh shucks, what was the year where Eddie Redmayne beat out Michael Keaton for Best Actor, and it's just like I think all of these votes counted crap out, like they just canceled each other out, and all of a sudden Black Phone because they were all split up between the other ones ended up getting more. That's my best guess. Or
is it more like the year that oh god, who beat out Metallica, Smoke for Grammy?
God, who was that? It was
Jethro Tull.
Oh yeah,
Jethro Tull. Yeah, that's right.
How did I know that? That's that's pretty good.
I don't know. It slipped my mind, but yeah, that's the notorious year where everybody's like, what? I think it was when the Black came out, right?
Yeah. To be fair,
well, notorious because it was in the metal category.
yeah.
Jethro Tull hard rock or whatever.
You know how you be doing those flutes and all those metal songs.
Yeah.
It's not that the Black Phone was bad. I enjoyed the Black Phone. It's just I didn't think that it was the best wide release.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't think it was the best one of these movies, of these five.
Yeah.
No, I think I had more fun at every other film on this list except for that one. I think that's why that was there. It was just kind of like that, not mediocre, but lesser of the bunch.
Of those. So I was surprised by that. But yeah, we did not hit the landing on that one. That was for sure. So
oof.
It was certainly the more, I guess you call it. I mean, not this is not a diss on it by any means, but I mean certainly the more formulaic of any of those movies up there towards the typical horror, formula.
Yeah. Straightforward for the most part, and the other movies, I think I could point to even Pearl and stuff. They all take chances and stuff. They all are trying things that are a little bit different than what their genre stuff is normally doing, and where Black Phone didn't seem to necessarily step as far out of those boundaries as the other films did.
Go to the next category there, Donnie. See what we got. Best limited release movie. See, the nominees there are Orphan, First Kill, Resurrection, Something in the Dirt, Terrifier 2, and Mad God.
I'll tell you what, man, I really enjoyed Mad God. I mean, yeah, Terrifier 2 as well, but and I did see Orphan First Kill, but you know, and like you said, we've talked about these at length, you know, on the previous.
We all came together and said across the board, Terrifier 2 was going to win it, and when you know, we actually got one right. Terrifier.
Well, I feel like when you look at the choices that we had with this, that like that had to kind of
at best this was a 2-horse race between that and Mad God, and Mad God's definitely not for everybody.
But the thing too is Terrifier at that particular time too was still fairly new and was still kind of buzzing and stuff, and still had that kind of word of mouth going around at that point. So like it was still kind of fresh on people's minds, I think.
So yeah, we nailed that.
You had that buzz about people passing out when they were seeing it too, so you know that drew more people into like, what is it? You know, that wouldn't normally.
And then they get like Blair Witch, and then they're like, "What the hell was this?" You were people passing out from what? Getting motion sickness? And they're like, "Well, yeah." And that's that was what was happening, but still, they threw up nevertheless.
I guess move on to the next. That one was pretty easy to call, I feel. So
yeah, pretty much.
Best streaming premiere movie. You want to read those off, Donnie?
Yeah, so we've got Fresh, Hellbender, Hellraiser, Prey, and A Wounded Fawn.
I think that they should next year recategorize this category, and they all have to start with the prefix of hell.
Yeah.
Every movie.
Well, 2 out of 5.
I'm saying that. Finish the job, Fangoria. Stop pussyfooting around. Start getting into a hell category where they all start with the prefix of hell.
That might be encouraging more Hellraiser movies.
Oh, Christ. Okay, I take back everything I've said.
Yeah, we don't want to do
that. Then we'll end up with a category that's just Hellraiser, like they have for Amityville, but we'll get to that too.
Oh, Jesus.
We'll come back to that one.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
Once again, all of us said that Prey would win this one, and we were right. Prey took it.
So I don't come on, it was huge. It was gigantic. No one knew that it was coming, and then when it came and it didn't suck ass, we were all just pleased as punch.
Yeah, and then that helped it though, because obviously it always helps if the movie doesn't suck. But that helped it as far as word of mouth, right? Like,
yeah,
they were like, oh yeah, well, you know, I know it's Predator, but you got to check this out. This one's pretty good. And
I'm waiting for them to do another one in this kind of vein. Give it to Danny Trachtenberg again, man. Let him do something else with it. Like it was better than that last Predator movie. You remember that piece of garbage?
Yes.
Woo. Oh yeah.
Yowzers, with the invisible plane and the whatever the hell was going on there.
Yeah.
Force field where the kid's like lying on it. The plane's so stupid. Tremblay, get out of here.
So far we got 2. We got 2 right of the 3. Let's see how we do on the next one.
All right, so we've got Best International Movie. We've got Hatching, The Innocents, Piggy, Salome, and Speak No Evil.
Now, for this one, we had a split decision. Basically, it was kind of split between 3 movies: The Innocents, Piggy, and Speak No Evil. Bless you.
I'm just having a heart attack over here. Hopefully, I can. Jesus.
If you just fade out off the camera, we know what happened. You just
it's just like if it's black, I'm gone. What happened? He just needs himself to
we decided between The Innocents, Piggy, and Speak No Evil, and Speak No Evil won. So that was the one that I said like truly haunted me, you know, for a while after that. So like, I there's no disagreement there for me with this one. I guess
No clue. I think this was one that I was just like, I don't think I saw any of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think you said like Piggy just because it's called Piggy. I think.
I know. I'd heard of the name before. Like, I think like the Independent Picture House in Charlotte was like playing it at some point. So like, I think I knew that, and that was about it.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to best first feature. Got Blood Relatives, Deadstream, The Sadness, Watcher, and We're All Going to the World's Fair.
I'm a good watcher. I'm a good watcher. Is that not how that song goes?
No, that's a different song.
No, sorry.
We had another split decision. We couldn't come to a conclusion between The Sadness and Deadstream. And
The Sadness was the one that everybody was talking about being just depressing as shit, right?
Beyond depressing, it's violent.
It's just fucked up. Okay, cool.
Ultra violent.
Ultra violent, and it brings you the sadness. But
Cure album.
we couldn't come to a conclusion, and so the people voted, and it was Watcher. So we were dead wrong on that one altogether.
I wonder if anyone will be watching Watcher now. Who
Right.
watches the Watcher? I think we asked.
And
that.
look, I've seen Deadstream, The Sadness, and Watcher, and I'm telling you right now, Watcher is not as good as it's fine. It is not as good as Deadstream or The Sadness in my mind. I haven't watched the other two, but yeah,
I don't see The Sadness in that category, but I can vouch for The Sadness.
I wouldn't necessarily say I'm surprised by it because it's more of your I stopped short of saying traditional, but it's more of like your normal type of horror movie, and not Deadstream is like a found footage type thing, kind of, right? It's like it's like a YouTuber like live streaming what's going on.
Hey guys, like and subscribe for all the and then they just get stabbed. Is that what happens?
It's unique. It's a unique kind of found footage type of thing, but you have to see it to understand it. But The Sadness is not, it's kind of like Terrifier 2 in that it's not for everybody, right? So I guess I'm kind of not surprised by that for that reason. But I guess the question will always be with this kind of stuff is like, what do you think will hold up better 5 or 10 years from now? I don't know. I guess only time will tell.
Yep. And now we move on to best lead performance. Anna Diop from Nanny, Isabel Furman from Orphan First Kill, Mia Goth from Pearl, Rebecca Hall for Resurrection, Daniel Kaluuya for Nope, Amber Midthunder for Prey, Maika Monroe for Watcher, Kiki Palmer for Nope, Josh Rubin for A Wounded Fawn, and Taylor Russell for Bones and All. Probably no surprise.
We all said Running Away, Mia Goth, and Pearl, and there you go.
Yeah, but Amber Midthunder still wins for best name.
Yeah,
that's a badass name.
No doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, Mia Goth put on a fantastic performance, but Midthunder, come on now, you're beating that.
But yeah, Mia Goth, yeah. We when we did that, we said, yeah, there's no doubt she's winning this, and sure enough, she ran away with it. So unsurprising. Well deserved though. She did a great job in that movie.
Yeah, moving on to best supporting performance. Jamie Clayton for Hellraiser, Ethan Hawke for The Black Phone, Justin Long for Barbarian, Madeline McGraw for The Black Phone, Jenny Ortega for Scream, Mark Rylance for Bones and All, Rachel Sennett for Bodies, 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 Brittany Snow for X, Kristen Stewart for Crimes of the Future, and Stephen Yeun for Nope.
Now, this one we were split on between Ethan Hawke, Stephen Yeun, and Jenna Ortega. And I think we were kind of saying basically we believe Jenny Ortega will win it just off of kind of a popularity vote.
Yeah, it's just like, the cute girl. Yeah, she probably going to win this one.
But we were dead wrong on all of those. This one kind of surprised me, too. It was Madeline McGraw from The Black Phone. That's who won it.
Again, that's part of me that just kind of wants to go, okay, I hate saying stuff like this because it makes you sound like an elitist douchebag, but it is what it is. When some people put out like, hey, here are my top 10 movies of the year, and you find out how many movies they saw with over the year, and it was like 15, and you're like, well, I'm sorry, but I don't give a crap of what your top 10 are. You saw 15. You saw nothing. So... So my feeling is they were just like, I saw Black Phone that one weekend we went out, so that's the one I'm voting for. I feel like that's what goes on.
And look, not to take anything away from her,
And
she
that's
was
fine.
good in the movie. You know, she was.
Yeah.
Once again, though, it's like I don't know if that one's the one you're going to remember 5-10 years from now. You know, like when you look at this list.
Yeah, I think we're gonna look back, and not for nothing, but I think we'll look back on Black Phone and we'll just go, was it Black Phone or Sinister? Sinister, Black Phone, which one was that? Yeah, I think you're gonna do that.
Is that one in the 70s, right? I think
Yeah, it's like what?
Yeah.
They're both got Ethan Hawke, both same writer and director. And so I was like, well, what the hell?
that was Stephen King's kid, right? I think. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I mean, once again, not to take away from her. I mean, she deserves, she deserves it, but I don't know if that would have been. It wasn't my choice. It was.
Yeah, what you're saying is her mother stuffed the ballot box. We
Yeah,
understand.
there you go. There you go. All her family from whatever town she's from.
All right. Kind of moving on to Best Director. Zach Kreger for Barbarian, David Cronenberg for Crimes of the Future, Chloe Okuno for Watcher, Jordan Peele for Nope, and Ty West for X.
Now, we pretty much agreed that Ty West would win this, but we did throw the caveat in that it wouldn't surprise any of us if Jordan Peele won it. And sure enough, Jordan Peele won it for Nope. So we kind of get a half credit for that one.
Yep.
I feel like this was, and again, I don't know, having not seen the awards. Did Jordan Peele accept his award?
He did, but it was like, via Zoom.
I mean, that doesn't matter. But that's the
He
question
did.
I'm asking: is if he received the award,
He
that
did.
may be why he received.
He
the
did, but that I can remember, the only major one that sticks out in my mind that didn't accept the award was Mia Goth. She didn't
award.
didn't even send in a video or anything like that because they said like she's busy doing.
He just sent in a picture of herself doing the double bird. I love it if that was her response. You've won this prestigious award, double bird.
I think. I mean,
That's my
there
accepted
might have been
speech.
one or two others that didn't, send in anything. But I remember she didn't, but he did. He did like a little video for it. But yeah, I mean, not that he didn't deserve it. Nope was great. I just figured Ty West just because of X and Pearl. Like, let's give it for both of these. And both
It's the success of both, and plus how good they were.
It was that Return of the King thing where you're just like, listen, you done enough. Well, let's just give it to you.
Yeah,
for this one.
that same thing. Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Moving on to Best Screenplay. C. Robert Cargill and Scott Derrickson for The Black Phone. Zach Kreger for Barbarian. Mia Goth and Ty West for Pearl. Jordan Peele for Nope. And Seth Rice and Will Tracy for The Menu.
Our consensus, well, actually, no, we didn't have a consensus. We were split between The Menu and Pearl, with most of us saying that Mia Goth and Ty West will take it for Pearl. And boy, were we wrong again.
Again, I think this comes back to it.
Cargill and Derrickson won it for The Black Phone.
That's the movie I saw in the movie theater, and I'm voting for it. And everyone, these are the same people that vote straight ticket, where they walk into the ballot and they just go like, I don't know who the hell I'm voting for. I know it's got an R or D by it, and that's all I give a shit. And they pump that button. These are the same people that voted for Black Phone. Again, I don't need to be shitting on Black Phone, but that's what I think of these people that are voting.
Well, you come to the conclusion is what's the constant here? Like it's got to be that. Like everybody just
right. That's the only one they seen. I get it.
I don't think we had predicted the Black Phone to do anything in these awards.
No.
It took all the major awards. Like,
I mean, you kind of expected maybe a couple of surprises, but for it to, just kind of run away like it did. I didn't.
We really what happened with the Black Phone is what we expected to happen with, say, X or Pearl.
Yeah.
In our prediction. And boy, were we wrong. The only one there we got right was Mia Goth.
You people, you don't care about art.
Yeah. Did you actually watch it?
All right. Moving on to Best Cinematography. Fuck. A Wounded Fawn. Rob Hardy for Men. Elliot Rocket for Pearl and X. And Nope.
My name is Elliot Rocket, and I'm here to host a weekend countdown on Rock 95.
This is one that we got right. We all said Hoyt van Hoytema would win it for Nope, and he won it.
Listen, when you come up with like a brand new way to shoot day for night, I feel like we just need to give you an award.
Yeah.
because that's like pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, and like we said in that one too, like that movie is just epic in scope. I mean, like not that some of these other ones weren't shot well, and they were, especially Elliot Rocket's work on X and Pearl. But
yeah, he made digital film. The digital look like actual film and stuff like that. They did a really good job with putting it together. And it's, I mean, part of it's how they shoot and part of it's how they post. But both of those things coincide.
But yeah, Nope just looked awesome. So yeah, I mean, it's well deserved there, no question.
All right, moving on to best score: Michael Abels for Nope, Jeff Barrow and Ben Salisbury for Men, Tyler Bates and Tim Williams for Pearl, John Carpenter, Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davies for Halloween Ends, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for Bones and All.
So we were split between the group there for Halloween Ends and Tyler Bates and Tim Williams for Pearl. And of course, I think we were generally kind of agreed that Halloween Ends would probably win it because of John Carpenter, and sure enough, that's what.
Yep, I think we again can again. I hate to do it, but I'm gonna do it. That's the ding dong vote. That's the ding dong vote. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna be able to go through." I know that name.
It's the same group,
Check them off. I know that's the name I recognize. Check it.
Oh, but we predicted that though. I think we pretty much all agreed that, like, yeah, more than likely, what's going to happen here is they're going to see John Carpenter's name and just go for that.
Yep.
I mean, it's not. Can you even say that he did anything revolutionary with this?
No, this time it goes bum 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 bum. It's different.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
A musical ear would get it, but it's okay.
So what, Smoke?
That's the difference between Vanilla Ice and the and Queens Under Pressure.
Yeah, you didn't hear that hi-hat and a souped up tempo. Come on.
All right, moving on to best costume design. Alex Bovaird for Nope, Stephanie Portnoy Porter for Prey. Yeah, the Munsters. Crimes of the Future and Pearl.
Yeah. I think this was that category that we were looking at the names like, what the hell? Did they just find all the weirdest names and throw them on here? It's alphabet soup.
We had a big Scrabble hand together, and we decided to make a movie.
We were kind of split on this one between the Munsters, that group for the Munsters, and Stephanie Portnoy. Good Lord, Stephanie Portnoy Porter for Prey. And sure enough, that's who took it. Stephanie Porter for Prey.
Well deserved at that point. Like I said, I was just happy that it wasn't Crimes of the Future because I like that was some Star Trek: The Next Generation costume design that I did not like. No. Give me the other Cronenberg these days. I'm gonna say it.
And the Munsters stood out just because of the costume design. Definitely stood out. I mean, say what you think about the movie, but the costume design stood out. So it could have went either way there, but yeah. No surprise, Prey. And Prey did get some love here, so I was happy about that. What's the next one there, Donnie?
All right, so we got best makeup effects. Crimes of the Future, Barbarian, Terrifier 2, Hellraiser, and X.
So we said Damien Leone for Terrifier 2, and that's exactly who won it. So we nailed that one. That was the fifth one that we've got completely right there.
Let me ask you this, because like I haven't seen Terrifier 2. Were the effects better on par with the first one?
Definitely on par, and you could say better because there's
more of them.
There's definitely more for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
when I watched it, like when I watched the first one, it was just like, all right, like I mean, I get it. Like if it looked like a very expensive, I don't mean this in the most awful way, but it looked like a very expensive student film.
Yeah.
I think he like progressed with this movie as far as making it. The storyline was more fleshed out in this one. So, you didn't have much of a storyline, and the first Terrifier was straight up slasher by the numbers, but with overabundance of like splatter effects. This one he's got an overabundance of splatter effects, but I think he's got the storyline to it's still very retro and 80s and stuff like that. But I think he just had a little bit more meat on the bone with the story.
Yeah.
Well, I will say though that some of it still didn't make a lick of sense. I mean, it gets crazy, and just beyond the violence. I mean, like the story, it gets crazy.
Oh yeah. It does take a turn there near the. I don't know what you'd call that. It's not the typical midpoint or the certain, whatever. But at some point there, without giving too much away on it, it does go a little left field.
It's a little cuckoo, but yeah, in a good way. In a good way.
Yep. Best creature effects: Prey, Hatching, VHS 99, Jurassic World Dominion, and Nope.
Just blew right through them, huh?
Jurassic World
okay.
Dominion really felt like they just wanted to get a response from legendary John Nolan. Like that guy's a special effects legend. I feel like that was just to kind of be like a thank you, but I will not be showing up to your awards.
I think kind of for those reasons, that's why we were kind of split a little bit, although we did lean Prey. Bruce was saying that Jurassic World Dominion should get it. But I think most of us were saying Prey, and sure enough, Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr. won it for Prey. So, yeah, I mean,
it makes sense.
Yeah,
it works. I think it's the correct answer.
And I think at least Alec Gillis worked on, and maybe Woodruff too, worked on the original, the original Predator back in the 80s. So, yeah, that's a cool, well-deserved. Yeah, for them. No surprises. So we were kind of right on that one, but yeah.
All right. Best documentary feature: the found footage phenomenon, In Search of Darkness Part 3, Living with Chucky, Pennywise: The Story of It, and This Is Gore.
We were split between In Search of Darkness Part 3 and This Is Gore, and of course, neither of those won it. It was Pennywise: The Story of It.
Again, this feels like I know what McDouble tastes like, so that's why we're going to McDonald's. I know what Pennywise is, and I didn't see it, but that's what I think I like.
I mean, and so by and large, you're probably right, but you could say the same thing about seeing Chucky on there too, right?
No, certainly. I mean, again, I don't think most folks watch document, and some of these sons of bitches, like In Search of Darkness, was that 68 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we said during that episode too, is that like they should give like the Lifetime Achievement Award to In Search of Darkness just because it's an 85-hour documentary.
Yeah, it's like the fucking Civil War. It's like a Ken Burns documentary with horror.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. It's really good. It's really well done. And like I have seen the Pennywise one, by the way. It's really good too.
The real challenge is to watch it all in one go. No stop.
Oh shit!
Get your coffee.
In the marathon.
We should do a live stream of us just watching the entire thing.
Oh God, that'd be awesome.
Back to back to back, and then have like somebody else do like the Lord of the Rings at the exact same time and see which one ends up being longer.
Yeah. Remember, Adam, you and I went with a group to go see all those Star Wars.
Oh my God, did we ever? Yeah, Josh and I have sat through 7 Star Wars in a row together.
Yep. In a theater for damn near 24 hours.
Which is hilarious because at the same time too, like it was not much longer than like time-wise than all 3 of those Lord of the Rings extended back to backs were. So like it's practically the exact same amount of time.
Yeah, really.
I don't know. The closest I can come to that was I don't remember what year it was, but it was the year that Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country came out. It was a marathon of everything up to that point.
Oh, wow.
So 1 through 5.
Yeah. Man, you could just go and get meals in between all the odd numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, listen, we're going to go out and get a steak. We'll be back in like an hour and a half.
Well,
the watching this whale one. Fuck that.
Well, you know what? Nothing could beat though when you and I did the Star Wars thing, and we had to start the morning at like 4:00 in the morning with episode 1.
Oh, dude, let me tell you, it went like this. We were super excited, like even with episode 1, because like you got the John Williams score, your Duel of the Fates, and everything, so you're super excited. All that's great. Episode 2 runs around, that gas starts wearing out real fast.
Yeah.
Episode 3, you're kind of like, well, we get that cool fight at the end, so you see that, and then you're getting really tired, but now you're in the regular day portion. Then New Hope comes out and you're excited again.
Yeah,
Empire comes out, you're super ready. By the time Jedi comes around, you're about to fall asleep again. And then when the new one came out, then when 7 came out, we were super stoked for that.
It led up to the debut of that new one. So, yeah.
It was a good time.
It was fun at least.
A lot of movies.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that we got the spot that we did so my feet could go out. And
Yeah. We're at the top
those
of
were
the
not recliner seats
Yeah,
then. So it'd be so much easier today with reclining seats. Oh, my Lord.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
no doubt.
All right, best nonfiction or miniseries: 101 scariest horror movie moments of all time.
Spoiler alert.
Right. Cursed Films 2, The Boulet Brothers, Dragula, Titans, Joe Bob's Ghoultide Get Together, and Queer for Fear.
I like that one. The Boulet Brothers, Dragula, Titans. It's like 3 titles all at once.
That's a what's it? Apollo Creed kind of title.
Yeah.
Like just keep coming up with different ones and just keep adding on.
This one, we were split on Joe Bob's Ghoultide Get Together just because it's Joe Bob, and Cursed Films 2 because I think a couple of us had seen it like that, but we were wrong. 101 scariest horror movie moments of all time took the award.
Again, this feels like this is the McDonald's answer.
But in retrospect, we probably should have went with that one because if we had been in the mindset of most people choosing this, they're like, yeah, sure, I'd love to see what the 101 most scariest moments were.
Yeah, if we were huff and paint before we did our predictions and stuff, perhaps we would have come up with these correct answers.
Maybe if we do this again next year, maybe that's the approach that we need to take.
We are doing all kinds of drugs, and then we're gonna do this thing.
Paint. No, I mean, like we look at it like we shouldn't look at it like, you know what, like I really enjoyed that, so this is what I'm going to pick. No, we should just think of what the masses are going to think of.
Grab yourself a ball peen hammer, smack yourself in the head, and then make your choice for your
Look,
selection.
we know every month here on the Spook Show how hard it is to predict what people are going to pick for Crapsterpiece Theater, so we should already know.
That's true.
Except Donnie. Donnie's got the formula.
Not really.
For the most part, you've got the formula down. You know,
like the first 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like
So something just the subtle, just 6, 7, 8 of them. I don't know, 9, 10. Yeah.
All right.
101 scariest horror movie moments of all time, which I haven't seen. But
I wouldn't watch that unless I 100% knew that I saw all 100 of those things, because I'm like, for the most part, I don't want you spoiling movies for me. What the hell? I mean, maybe
Smoke is the only one that's seen all 101 of those.
Exactly, and that's why it's fine for somebody like him. If you're a freak like that, fine. But if you're like a regular person, I don't want to be spoiled by all that kind of stuff. Have a skip button.
That's what it ends up being too. Is just a clip show. That's all. I guarantee that's all.
Yeah, it's like The Simpsons
with some interviews. I bet it's like. I'm sorry, Don. Before we move on to best series, I bet it's like those old VH1 shows used to come on.
Oh, Mark McGrath comes up and just talking about some shit.
These talking heads that they have in every single one just pops up and gives their 2 cents. Oh yeah, E.T. scared the hell out of me. E.T.
He looked like a big chocolate bar, and let me tell you, the chocolate bar scared the hell out of me, boy.
Oh, how much you want to bet too? One of the 101 moments is the Willy Wonka. The boat.
The boat.
Willy Wonka, yeah.
Paul F. Tompkins was frightened by it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Donnie. I'm sorry.
All right. No, you're good. Best series: Cabinet of Curiosities, Chucky, Stranger Things, What We Do in the Shadows, and Yellow Jackets.
Let's see. This one we had no consensus because I guess because basically we hadn't watched enough.
Nobody really watched any of these.
Well, I mean, I think we kind of had watched a little bit of everything, so we didn't really come to a conclusion as to what our predictions were. But no surprise, I guess, in the end, Stranger Things. So.
It's one I think that sound like it's kind of again, these are charged words. It's an indictment of the people that are voting. I feel like when I thought this, I was like, listen, man, this is Fangoria. These are Fangoria fans. Fangoria fans aren't going to go for this Stranger Thing. Maybe first season or something when we all had that little bite and it was just like, oh, it's this cool retro thing. But by like season 3 or 4, whenever the hell we're charging for this one, why the Fangoria community cares? I don't know. I mean, again, we find out who's voting. Let's put it that way.
I think it probably is more of a thing where you're coming to the conclusion now that like the Fangoria fans have probably changed from what it used to be. What do you think, Smoke? Like, it's probably different.
Definitely. Definitely from what it used to be. Like I said, the entire Chainsaw Awards chain has changed, of course, from what it used to be. But yeah, just fans in general. Also, I think coming at this, when you think of getting in that mindset, I'm personally thinking of like somebody who is of my age group, and that's not the general case for most of these. It's probably millennials and Zoomers, which is going to be a lot different mindset than mine. So.
True. Maybe we've aged out of the demographic. Maybe I don't know.
Zoomers.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess in the end, really shouldn't be much of a surprise. Stranger Things took it, so yeah, there we go.
They all thought, oh, if I vote for it, what's her nose is going to really like me.
All right, best short: Blink, Close Your Eyes, Guts, Meet Friend, and Oh Glory.
Now, this one we had no consensus because none of us have seen any of this. So that's not to say any of them are crappy. I'm sure some of them are fine, but we didn't watch any of them, so we didn't really have an opinion. But the winner was Close Your Eyes.
I told you.
We should have listened to you.
Although saying it all along, and no one wanted to hear it, but okay.
We did kind of cast a vote for Meat Friend just based off title alone. So
yeah, that's kind of worth it.
Yeah, but yeah, Close Your Eyes took the award.
Close your eyes and I'll meet friend. You know how that song goes.
We'll get pulled off YouTube. No, don't keep going.
No, I changed the lyrics enough.
Yeah.
All right, and the best Amityville. All right.
Literally says Amityville Christmas Vacation just makes me smile so hard, even more so than In Space.
Yep, Amityville Karen, Amityville Scarecrow 2, and Amityville Uprising.
God damn it! The first Scarecrow did so well. We got to do a sequel.
I love that there's a sequel to a shitty sequel.
Creep's like, Sisson, why won't they give me money? God almighty.
We didn't come to a consensus because nobody outside of the people that made these movies have seen these movies. So.
Even they didn't watch them when they edited. They just kind of put one of those things together. Go, AI is going to fix that.
We had no consensus, but the winner was Amityville Christmas Vacation.
Holiday Road.
Honestly, I feel like this was the best bit in the whole Chainsaw Awards when they got to this because it was presented by the dude that's MST3K now, Jonah. Is that his name?
Jonah Hill? Yeah.
Whatever his name is. The
Jonah Ray's. I'm sorry, Jonah Hill's the other guy.
No, it's different Jonah. He was the one that presented the award, so they played it off in a jokey way, as you should, because it's the best Amityville. But
that's just like saying which one of Hitler's.
Like we said, we don't want to encourage them to keep making Amityville. So
I kind of do though, just because like I just want to see people start throwing money down a tube and like lighting it on fire.
Look, we always do a summer series, so all this is going to do is encourage us to have like a winter series or something like the winter of Amityville or some shit, and we got to watch all 35 Amityville movies.
I watched one with the kid that played Joker on Gotham. That one was okay. I mean, all things considered, it wasn't a great film, but like it was better than the first two. I said it. Both those, all the Amityville movies suck. I'll say it right here. I hate them all.
Hopefully, we never have to find out. That was it as far as the main categories that we had predictions for. They threw in 3 Editors Eyeball Awards. This is the first time they've ever done the Editors Eyeball Awards. Essentially, it's kind of like the with one eye forward, like looking towards the future of horror was the whole premise of the award. So they kind of gave the awards to people like that, I guess keep an eye on
that haven't deserved it yet, is what you're saying?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That don't deserve any kind of recognition, but we're going to pat them on the back and tell them good job.
They gave one to Lauren Lavera from Terrifier 2. She was the main, I guess, protagonist? No. Yeah. Main protagonist in the movie that was getting chased around for a better part of the movie. That was her. Emily Bennett and Justin Brooks for Alone with You. I think that they wrote and or directed it. And Mason Thames from The Black Phone. So yet another award for The Black Phone. That was the I think that was the kid that was basically, kidnapped in the movie. I think that was Mason Thames.
Yep.
This it reeks of we got these people, and we can get them on the show, so that's what we do. You know, we'll give them an award for kind of showing up. It's like Hollywood Foreign Press, all of that kind of shit right there, where it's just like Johnny Depp was not the best in whatever that bull crap movie was that he and Angelina Jolie did. You knew that movie was shit, but they wanted to get those two people to come to that award show. So they're just like, you're nominated and you're nominated. Come on down, because they knew they'd come and it'd be some names for them.
That's another thing that I think that award show needs too, is like some kind of classic old school horror related people in it, because like all they really had were like, you know, some newer faces, which is fine. I mean, I get that, you know, you want to, like we said, one eye forward, but all they had other than that was like, I think Felissa Rose and Barbara Crampton. I'm sure there were a couple
and not for nothing, I like those ladies a whole lot. They're super sweet, but you know, they'll come on down. They're game for anything. I mean, and I mean that in a good way, but like, you know, getting them's not that awful difficult.
You need to throw in some bigger names, you know, like at least get like Robert Englund out there or something. You know, like you need some juice, you know.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm trying to think of, it's just like, and how did you think DeSmulchin did as far as the host and everything kind of goes?
He's fine, but like I said, they did those corny, cringy wrap around bits. So like, just kill that shit. Like, or if you're gonna do it, mix it up with some other talent or something. I don't know.
It's all starring Kane Hodder doing sock puppets, as far as I'm sure.
Of this, like they were really stretching it, man. One last award that we didn't do a prediction for, because this was more of like a broad category, because it was like a write-in kind of deal. Best kill, and the one that took the Chainsaw Award was Killing Alley in Terrifier 2. This is the one where Art the Clown just mutilates that woman on the bed. Yeah. And remember, it's a really prolonged scene. It's like it feels like 10 minutes of him just
rough,
chopping her up bit by bit. So yeah, that was the
it's rough.
Yeah, it is. But that was the best kill, and whoever the actress was that did that, she actually was there to accept the award. So yeah, that was pretty much it though. There's your Chainsaw Awards. I mean, my advice would be to put it in front of an audience at least. They need to juice it up. I mean, I think it's fine having it. Yeah, they need to put it in front of a convention or something. They need some people around, because that closed studio stuff, man, it's like you tell a joke and nobody laughs. You know, we're all used to that, but for a professional production, you know, you need a fucking audience.
I would love to see Chris Rock host the next one of these. You got Jason walking around.
Well, he
just keeps repeating the same thing of like, the premise is always just like, man, they be killing white girls.
Well, he was in Jigsaw, right, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a precedent there. Get him.
I love that. I loved him in Jigsaw, because like, you literally did not know what you were going to get from take to take. Like, even in the same scene where it's just like, he looks like he's excited to be there, and other times he looks like he's absolutely pissed. It was hilarious. Unintentionally so, but it was.
You see all of our stuff that we do there. We got all of our different series on the left-hand side there. You know, of course, we here on the All American Spook Show, we generally do horror, but we also tap into Canon Fodder, where we talk about the Canon Films Library, Spook Show Spotlight, where we, you know, pick one particular topic like a director or something, or a home video or something like that, and we talk about that. And then we do Cult Corner, which is basically cult movies that aren't horror movies. And then right here on our YouTube channel, we do Grindhouse Gutter, which we talk about the classic Grindhouse B movies. Hammer Horror in Order. Explanation is pretty much there in the title, where we go chronologically through the Hammer Horror vault from, you know, their first horror movie to their last, and we're going from, you know, literally in chronological order. Video Vortex is basically the same premise of Grindhouse Gutter, except just movies that went straight to video or straight to streaming or straight to DVD, that type of stuff. And then we actually have moved around. We've got Spook Show Rewind moving over to our Patreon, but you don't see it here on the screen. We actually started another series called Traumatic Experience, where essentially we're just going through the trauma library. And man, the hardest thing we have found so far is finding these damn movies.
Here's the thing. It used to be that they used to be very widely available. And I years ago, I'd seen Kaufman talk at Dragon Con and kind of a very nice little intimate setting there and everything. And he was very much about getting stuff out and having everything available on streaming and stuff. And just like a couple of years later, all of a sudden that dried up real fast. I think they must have been losing mad money on it.
Either that or he probably felt he could get more money than, for his library than was realistic. And he's just decided to hold it back. I mean, they do have their own series, or not series, streaming service called Troma Now.
Yeah, and I
a month, something like that. But
yeah, I think between that and like
but
what do you call it? What's the other moon? God damn it!
Full Moon.
Charles Band, Full Moon's thing. Yes, that's it. I literally got the whole damn year subscription. I can't even remember the name of it. That's how good it is.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like they don't even have, and we found this out because of Traumatic Experience series. They don't even have all the Trauma movies on their own service. So there are some that are just like good luck.
Like one that I kind of like. We found this out. We did this. We do this thing from time to time at VizArt Video called VHS Potluck, where everybody brings a VHS that they've never seen before, and we vote on it, and then we all watch it together. So it's a communal first watching for everybody of this film. And we watched Troma's, and they obviously just distributed it when you look at the product that actually came out. But a movie called Blades. If you haven't seen Blades, all you have to imagine is exactly Jaws, but on a golf course. It is exactly with a lawnmower instead of a shark. It is a scene for scene remake, and it is one of the most glorious things I've ever. And like everybody just laughs because they know what the following scene's going to be because we've all seen Jaws a billion times. And so when that comes up, it's just like, oh no, here's that scene. Here's that scene from Jaws. And it's all just like, just chef's kiss beautiful.
It sounds like
we can't find it anywhere because it used to be on YouTube for free. And I was I wanted to do a whole series on that. Just grab that video and do a video essay about it because of all the Jaws remakes and ripoffs and all that stuff, everything from your orcas to Grizzly to whatever, any of those things. None of them are scene for scene like this one was. And that's like, more people need to see it. And they can't. Thanks, Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like we're trying to keep it specific to just the movies that they actually produced and not like the ones that they distributed. Because
some of those, especially when you get into like your 90s and 2000s and stuff, where it's just like they're picking up Drek for pennies, and it's just like I feel like that's diluting your brand.
Yeah, Cannon's the same way.
Yeah, out in the wind.
We'll just take it. We'll take what's that? We can buy that for a nickel and put it out. Yeah, we'll do that.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll actually have one of those type of movies that you're talking about, Adam. Our next video vortex coming up next month is going to be Cruel Jaws.
Oh man,
because that goes hand in hand with the old Spookshow Summer Disaster series.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for. This whole disaster series, I like when I heard the premise, I was just like on board.
Yeah, we got lots of cool stuff. It's going to be all across our YouTube channel and, of course, our regular podcast feed every Monday at 6 p.m. East. We're going to have a bunch of stuff on Video Vortex and on Grindhouse Gutter and, of course, over on our Patreon, patreon.com/Spookshow. So it's going to be a multiverse of madness of Spookshow Summer Disaster is going to be all across everything that we do. But before we tap out, tell us a little bit about Hero Movie Podcast and where everybody can find that.
Well, that is a program that we have been doing for nigh on almost 9 years now. It's kind of bananas that the show's still been going. We review comic book movies and superhero films and stuff, and we're actually branching out to doing some more stuff like that. This month we've been in the middle of our second annual anime, where we're talking about all anime movies and stuff like that. And now we got a Patreon vote for that coming up. So I'll go ahead and reveal it on the show right now. Let me take a look at the current vote because I'm shutting it down at this very moment right here. So this is exclusive. Ain't nobody else gonna hear about
Breaking news.
Breaking news, everybody. The thing we're covering on Hero Movie Podcast next week. And this, I thought this was wild. Here were the choices: Attack on Titan, Spirited Away, way, Iron Giant, the Silver Surfer animated thing from the Fox in the 90s, and Osmosis Jones, which surprisingly got 4% of the vote. But I thought Attack on Titan, because it came out in a very strong kind of first up here, but just beating it out by a tiny little bit. We'll be covering the Iron Giant next week on Hero Movie Podcast, a movie of which I still have yet not seen for whatever reason. So everybody, I have not met a person who dislikes that film, so I'm excited.
Those all sounded like pretty big choices there. So yeah,
it was a tough one, honestly. I was surprised it was kind of all over the map, but yeah, it won out, and we'll be watching that one next week. And then we got June's just going to be ridiculous, and we got all the stuff coming out from your flashes to your. We're actually going to be covering a Wes Anderson film on our podcast, so like we're really kind of branching out and doing other stuff like that as well. Yeah, we're covering Asteroid City, so. While HMP will very much stay the same in a lot of functions and stuff like that, we're changing a little bit too. But that's what's kind of
good to mix it up. Makes it fun for the listener and for you guys to just kind of mix it up and not do the same thing.
Oh yeah, not because after 8 years of like just strictly superhero films, for the most part, you get to a point where you're just like, okay, all right, can we? I can only see a Quantumania so many times. You know what I'm saying?
You mentioned polls, and that reminds me, I should throw out what the current Crapsterpiece Theater poll is. This closes at the end of the month, so you got until May 31st, which is what, a week from tonight. But yeah,
Yep.
Week from tonight at midnight, May 31st, to go vote. You can vote on our socials, vote over at patreon.com/AA Spookshow. Hell, you can put a comment in this video right now, and that's a vote. Your one of your four choices for this month are Disaster Movie from 2008, Left Behind the Movie from 2000, 2020 Texas Gladiators from 1983, and Metal Tornado from 2011. Really trying to siphon off that Sharknado crowd there with Metal Tornado. So.
It's like 4 gargantuan turds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what Crapsterpiece Theater is all about.
I mean, it's in the name.
It is. I mean, it should be obvious. And then, like, we don't even.
I mean, if you called it Fantastical Theater, I maybe you'd have a gripe.
Yeah. And we recognize whatever wins, that's what we have to watch, and we recognize that it's a piece of shit. That's Crapsterpiece Theater. So we don't rate the movies. We have to come up with what level of crap is it? Is it a sinker? Is it a floater? Or is it diarrhea? That's
chunky.
That's where we have to decide over there. See, the only place you can hear those every month before we flush them down the toilet is over on patreon.com/AA Spookshow. So Adam, thanks for joining us again, man. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully we can do this again next year. Obviously, It won't be a year before we do something again. I'm sure come October at the least.
Yeah.
We'll get to go do something for Halloween and everything. So
absolutely. And
maybe you can bring Bruce and Sean over with you.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. So for Will, who couldn't be with us, Donnie, Professor Smoke, I'm Josh. We're from the All American Spook Show. Adam, go listen to the Hero Movie Podcast, and we'll talk to you next time.
See y'all.
Later.